Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Sunday morning. Well, we have a new appointee as the Manhattan Borough Historian. And I've learned something new. Every borough has its own historian. With us today is Harold Holzer, a friend, and he has been newly appointed by the borough president of Manhattan as the historian of Manhattan. And let's go to Harold Holzer. Harold, where was the last place we met together?
John, we met at Roosevelt House when you came to a packed house to talk about your new book and taught us all how to become wealthy. And I have to say it's been a few months. It hasn't worked yet, but I'm still trying.
Well, maybe you have to read the book a second time. I said you'll make twice as much if you read it twice.
Okay, I will.
Well, tell us, Manhattan, I didn't know every borough has its own historian. Tell us about, we got a few minutes today on a Sunday morning, and a lot of our listeners are from the island of Manhattan. That we bought for, how much did we buy it for? $14, was it? Or what?
No, $24.
$24. Okay, with inflation.
400 years ago. We're about to have the anniversary of the purchase.
I look forward to the anniversary. I hope I get invited.
Okay.
Tell us about a little historical stuff about Manhattan Island that nobody knows.
Well, nobody knows there was a Belgian immigration crisis in the 17th century. I just learned that myself. When the notice went out that
You mean they had a migrant crisis?
We had a migrant crisis.
How many years ago?
No ice except in the winter. And yes, we did for centuries. And you know what? All of the people who immigrated eventually became part of the Manhattan community and did well for themselves and by us, which is a lesson maybe we should learn. John, I didn't know about this position, very much about it either. I've actually known the two predecessors. But Borough President Brad Hoylman-Siegel, who is actually being sworn in later this Sunday afternoon, his official inauguration at Lincoln Center, he called me up and said, I want you to do this because you've written 50 books about the Civil War and Lincoln, and I want someone who's written about history. And we have all these plans to do tours and websites about the 250th anniversary, about the Civil War in Manhattan, about the Dutch settlement, about the native peoples. And we're going to have a lot of fun, and I think it's going to help spur extra tourism as well.
Well, I mean, that sounds wonderful. I hear that there's parts of Manhattan, when you dig down deep enough, you find another part of Manhattan, a different part of the city.
You do. And in fact, when they built the Moynihan Federal Courthouse in Lower Manhattan a few decades ago, we both remember that period, they found a slave burial ground, which is now known as the African Burial Ground. Construction was halted. An entire project came up from Washington and other cities and examined with great respect the remains. In those days, this was the northern part of the island, so they shipped enslaved people up there when they died to be buried. And as they say in my part of Manhattan, who knew? We have a lot to learn.
I mean, there's so many things that they don't know. I mean, I know I watch the History Channel sometimes, and deep down in Japan, deep down underneath the water, they found whole cities. And in China, which is a civilization that's 6,000, 8,000 years old, they found,
right.
If you dig down enough, they find old cities. So, I mean, there's so many things that we have to know. And when did Columbus sail the ocean blue? 1492.
1492, it rhymes, yeah.
So, I mean, we're only 500 years behind versus some of the things,
right.
Some are 6,000 years behind and 10,000 years behind. And the question, who built the pyramids in Central America? Who knows?
Exactly. We're not sure. But, we have centuries of Native American history in Manhattan, too. And every once in a while, people excavate and learn about that. There is a new building you may have noticed going up on 5th Avenue and 43rd Street. It's gigantic. It's overwhelming. That plot of land was once an orphan asylum for black children, the most modern orphanage in New York City. And during the 1863 draft riots in New York, rioters burned it down to drive and trapped the black children inside for a while.
Oh my God!
More than 200. They got out, and I think the borough president wants to have a plaque put on that building to acknowledge that one of the worst acts of insurrection and mob rule took place there, and it's part of the history that we should remember as well as the stuff we celebrate, I think.
Well, Harold Holzer, I hope you come on more often and give us any updates on anything interesting that you find out.
And say hello to my friend Andrew Cuomo. I worked for his dad for many years and feel very close to Andrew, and I'm glad he's on the radio. I listen to all of the shows.
Thank you. I will send him a copy of our mini cast that we're doing right now, and thank you for pointing that out.
Thank you, John. Pleasure to talk to you.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.